Last time what we tried to do was we solved this question intuitively, which means we really did not go through the process of creating equations and etc. and we just did it intuitively. Those of you who were less comfortable with that, let's follow a more traditional and more calibrated approach. So let's do it again. You remember that we had a universal set which had 3000 households. And then you have three sets: washing machines, refrigerators, and TV sets. Now remember that when we have three sets, there are 8 possible cases that can happen, because each of the household could be either in that set or not there. So for every set there are 2 possibilities: you are there or you're not in that set. And hence there are 2 into 2 into 2, 8 possibilities. You can count those. You have one possibility: washing machine only, refrigerator only, TV only, 3 possibilities. Then washing machine and refrigerator only but not TV, refrigerator and TV only but not washing machine and TV only but not refrigerator. These are 6, and then all 3, 7, and none, 8. So we've drawn the diagram correctly that there are 8 possibilities that we can take care of. As I said, instead of putting in intuitive numbers now, let's try and build an equation. So what you can do is, you can give each of these numbers a variable. So let us say only washing machines, only refrigerator, and only TV are ABCs respectively. Now remember that this is not just by chance that I'm giving ABC as one only. I'm trying to give names of variables so that I can remember what kind of variable meant what. So I used ABC, the first 3 variables, to mean one only wala set. Then the next 3, D, E, F, for 2 only wala set. So if you look at D, it is washing machine and refrigerator only, E, refrigerator and TV only, and so on and so forth. G, the next variable, for all 3, and H for none. More or less follow this as a standard so that you'll always remember that ABC means one only, DF means 2 only, G means all 3, and H would mean none of them. Of course, as the number of sets change, these values will change, but sequence should remain same is what is my point. Now remember, because we're going to write equations, and of course draw a parallel between the solution that I gave intuitively and this, because they are exactly the same except that we are creating equations here. So the first thing that we know is that this universal set has 3000 households. So we can write this equation that all these variables together, A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G plus H, there are 8 possible variables. They all together sum up to 3000. As I said, keep in mind the intuitive solutions that you might have seen in the other video, and you will find that both of them are similar. So I'm writing this as equation 1. Now the next line says that each household had at least one of these gadgets, which means none of them had nothing, which means outside of these 3 sets there are no households, which basically means that the variable H is equal to 0. This is equation 2, and if I put equation 2 in equation 1, I can simply say that A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G is equal to 3000. Equation 3. Now this equation 3, if you remember in the intuitive solution, we had said that the union of these 3 sets is 3000. This is what this equation means, the union of all 3 sets, because basically outside we have no one, and hence this universal set is same as the union of these 3 sets. So I'm just trying to draw the parallel between the intuitive solution and the equations. Now what do we have? The next data we say is that 1200 of these households had no refrigerator. Now there are 2 ways to interpret this. Which are those which have no refrigerator? So this is the set of refrigerator. Outside you have A, F, C, and of course H, but H is 0, and so we forget H for the time being. So A, F, and C, the sum of these 3 is 1200. Now that is one way to do it. You can of course write an equation that way, but like in the intuitive solution, we can also interpret this differently. What we can say is that because 1200 do not have refrigerator, which means 1200 are outside the set of refrigerator, the rest of them are inside the set of the refrigerator, which means that if I subtract this 1200, these 3, from the union of this, I'll get the refrigeration set. So I can say those households which have refrigerators are 3000 minus that 1200. Hence, if I look at the refrigerator set, that set is B plus D plus E plus G. Now if you see, I'm writing the equation also as first 1 only, then 2 only, and all 3. So I'm writing it in a certain sequence, so I'll never get confused as to which variable is where. So this is equal to 3000 minus 1200, which gives you 1800 households. Equation number 4. Now I can quickly use the next 2 lines to give you the other 2 sets without explaining, because it's very similar. What does it say? It says 1140 had no washing machines, which means the rest of them had the washing machine. 3000 minus 1140. Now 3000 minus 1200 was 1800. So minus 1140 will be 1860, which means this set, which means washing machine, has 1860 people. Now what is this washing machine wala set? A plus D plus F plus G is 1860. Equation number 5. Now let's look at the third one. It says 1626 had no TV sets. So those who do not have TV sets was 1626, which means those who had TV sets is 3000 minus 1626. Now 3000 minus 1600 is 1400. Out of 1400, if I remove another 26, I'll be left with 1374. And hence, this TV wala set is 1374. So C plus E plus F plus G is 1374. This is equation number 6. The next data that is given is that 882 had both a washing machine and a TV set. Washing machine and a TV set. So we're talking about this? No, not just this, also this. Why? Because those who have all three also have washing machine and TV sets. So when I'm counting those who have washing machine and TV sets, I mean those who have washing machine and TV sets only, and those who have washing machine and TV sets along with the refrigerator. So this 882 is actually the sum of these two. If you remember the intuitive solution, this is how we had written it here. How will we write it as an equation? Let's write it. F plus G is equal to 882. Equation number 7. Now I can use the same logic to write the next two data sets. So you quickly do it with me. 831 had both washing machines and refrigerators. Washing machines and refrigerators. So we're talking of D plus G. This is 831, which basically means D plus G is 831. Question number 8. Then we move to the next data point, which says 360 had both a refrigerator and a TV set. Refrigerator and a TV set, which is E plus G. E plus G is 360. Question number 9. Now we have all the data which is given, and we have converted it into equations. So what is left now? Let's solve these equations to get this entire picture. Again, if you refer to the intuitive solution, think about what process did we follow. The same process can be followed here in equations. What did we do? We first added these three sets. Washing machine, refrigerator, TV sets. So in effect, we were adding these three equations. Equation number 4, 5 and 6. So I'm just adding 4, 5, 6. Look, I have A, B, C ones. A plus, B plus, C. Then I have D and D2, E and E2, F and F2. So I can write this as 2 times D plus E plus F. And then I have G in all the 3. And so I can write 3G. This is equal to sum of these 3. So I'm just summing it up. Carefully check if I'm right. 1800 into 1800 is 3600. 3600 plus 1300 gives you 4900. 4900 plus a 60, 4960. I need 40 more to make it 5000. So I'll take 40 from here. That makes it 5000. Now out of 74, if I remove 40, what I have left is 34. So this sum happens to be 5034. Equation number 10. What have I done? I have added equation number 4, 5 and 6. Remember, in intuitive solution we were talking about the fact that this is 5034, but we know that the union of this set is just 3000. So why is this happening that way? Because I have counted D, E, F twice and G thrice. Remember, these 3 twice and this thrice. So what was the next step intuitively we did? We subtracted the union from here to get the extra counts. Our union is equation number 3. Hence, the next thing that I do is equation 10 minus equation 3. When you do that, look, I have an ABC here, I have an ABC here. ABC minus ABC, gone. I have 2 times DEF here, and I have 1 times DEF here, and hence I'll be left with 1 times D plus E plus F. I have a 3G here, and I have just 1G here, and hence so I'll be left with 2G here. If I subtract 3000 from 5034, what I'll be left with is 2034. Equation number 11. I hope you realize we had said that in our total 2034 is the extra count, and this extra count includes these 3 once and this twice. These 3 once and this twice. So intuitively we were doing exactly this, except that we had not written the equation. The earlier you get comfortable with the intuitive solution, the faster it gets, because you don't have to write all these equations in such a methodical fashion. So you'll have to build your intuition if you got to crack that. So we had this extra counts. Then what did we do? Remember, in the intuitive solution, what we did was we added these 3, the common ones. So we added 1, 2 and 3, this one, which basically means we were adding equation 7, 8 and 9. Let me add it here. So equation 7 plus equation 8 plus equation 9. Check. You have D, E, F coming 1 times. D plus E plus F. And G coming in all the 3, and so I have a 3 times G. This totals to how much? Let's add this. 800 plus 800, 1600. 1600 plus 300, 1900. 1900, and then I have a 60, 1960. I need 40 more. So let me take 40 from here. So what is left is 42 here. Remember that. So I have now 2000. 2000, and then what is left here is 42. 42 plus 31 will give you 73. So this sums up to 2073. This is equation number 12. Remember, when we added these three in our intuitive solution, I had said that these three comes once, this one comes thrice. DEF comes once and G comes thrice. Exactly the same again. Now look, we also said that DEF is coming once here and G coming twice here, and DEF coming once here and thrice here. So the difference of these two will be this common number. And look, difference of these equations will give you G, which is exactly the same. So now if I do equation 12 minus equation 11, what I get is G is equal to 2073 minus 2034, which is 73 minus 34, which will give you how much? 39. 34, if I add 6 to it, that makes it 40. 40 plus 30 is 70, and then 39. So G is 39. You get this first value as 39, as we got in the intuitive solution also. Now I've got G. So if I substitute them in equation 7, 8, and 9, I get values of DEF. If you remember in the intuitive solution, we said we know G, so if I subtract it from here, I get this. If I subtract it from here, I get this. This was exactly what we were doing in the intuitive solution. So I'm substituting this in equations 7, 8, and 9. So when I substitute in 8, I get D equal to 831 minus 39. So first I subtract 31. What is left is 8. 800 minus 8 will give you 792. Let's substitute G here. E will be 360 minus 39. So 360 minus 40 is 320, and then 1 back, you will get E as 321. Finally, if I substitute G here, I get F is equal to 82 minus 39. So F will be 882 minus, if I subtract 40, it will be 842, 1 back at 843. So if you remember, I get D as 792, E as 321, and F as 843. Let's go back. Now I have D, E, F, and G. Now look at these equations, the sets equations. If I have D, E, and G, I get B. If I have D, F, and G, I get A. If I get E, F, and G, I get C. If you remember our intuitive solution, I said, take this whole set. Out of these three, if I subtract from here, I get A. Now look at this. If I substitute D, F, and G here, I get A. So this is exactly, again, what we did in the intuitive solution. So what I'm now doing is, I'm substituting these values in equations 4, 5, and 6. This will give you A as 1860 minus these three, 792, 39, and 843. Now remember, I already know that this is 831, this plus this. So what I can do is subtract 831 from 1860 and then subtract 843 from there, one of the two. So let me subtract 831 first. If I subtract 800, what is left is 60. Out of that I subtract 30. I'm left with 30 and one more, so I'm left with 29. 1029 is the number. From this 1029, I have to subtract 843. So let me subtract 800 first. What I'm left with is 229. Let me subtract 29 first. So I'm left with 200. From 200 now, I have to subtract the difference of 43 and 29. Now 43 minus 30 would have been 13, and so 40 minus 29 would be 14. I have to subtract 14 from here. I'm left with 186. And hence A is 186. A is 186. Now, if you look at the B, that is this one, I subtract D, E, and G from 1800. Now remember again that this number is 831. So let me subtract 831 first. From 1800, if I subtract 800, what is left is 1000, 30, 970, one more, so that gives you 969. From 969, now I need to reduce 321. So 900 minus 300 is 600, 60 minus 20 is 40, 640, and then 8. So this number is 648. This gives you B as 648. And then look at C. You have to subtract from 1374 EFG. So let me say that this number is 360. Let me first subtract that. So 1374 minus 360 will give you 1014. From 1014, subtract 843 first. So if you subtract 800, what you get is 214. So what you have to subtract now is from 214, subtract 43. So first subtract 14. What is left is 200. Now 14 3 is 42. So this is 29 more. You have to subtract 29 from 200. So if you subtract 30, you'll be left with 170. This is actually 171. C is 171. That gives you all the number required, and hence you can answer the questions that are asked. In question number 8, what they're asking you is those with washing machine and refrigerator only. Washing machine only is A and refrigerator only is B. So he's asking you values of A and B. That happens to be 186 and 648. So their answer happens to be option D. Then, if you look at the 9th question, it says how many households with more than one appliances? More than one appliances is D, E, F, G. So what you're talking about is this plus this plus this plus this. If you add all this, do I have a better solution? Yes, you have a D, E, F plus 2G. इसमें से simply subtract G. G is 39. So subtract 39 from 2034. First remove 2034. What is left is 2000. Out of that 5 more, 1995. The option number A is your answer.